Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you know what time it is. It's 5 minutes past the hour. Why don't we get started? I'm sorry that I don't have the normal intro, and I will talk about that for those that may have missed the stream yesterday. But without further ado, let's get right into this. Hello, everybody! My name is Val, and I'm not going to keep speaking like this because it could get annoying after a certain point. Yumi Ray. Hello! Mama made you come here, JK. I'm here willingly. Well, welcome. And you know what I'll give you? Because you're here, I'll give you not just one, not just two, but 3 crispy Dr. Peppers. So welcome! Hello, and welcome to today's episode of the VOD. Now, for those that may have missed yesterday's stream, you may notice something a little different. You sound like the famous line, "Good morning, Vietnam." Oh, yes, Rob Williams, where he says, "Good morning, Vietnam!" Ah! Fine, I'll hydrate. Oh no, not the gun. Yes. Well, here we go. But yeah, so if you missed the stream yesterday or last night, we didn't have an episode of the VOD last night because due to weather conditions for our guest moving, they were a little bit delayed, and so we realized, you know what, we'll just reschedule, and we will have them come on the show at a later time. Now, excuse me, what that means is that we have our wonderful guest today, which I will get into soon. Mama turned it from "you may hear willingly" to "now I'm forcing." I see. Ah! Thank you, soul. I appreciate that. I'm finally awake long enough to hear and see Val again. Welcome, schmoozer. How are you doing? The person that's single-handedly funding this channel. Hi, Val. Hi, soul. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad everyone's here. But if you missed yesterday's stream, going forward, our wonderful boy, the Phantom Fame, will not be joining us anymore. But that's okay. Well, joining us for now. And that is because that he is going to be a father soon, and he wants to focus on a little bit of his own stuff. And that is okay, because life happens. We can't... Oh my gosh. Why am I so gassy? I'm burping, and I don't like that. 61. Thank you for those. Ayo. Wait, Phantom gonna be Ghost Hoppa? Yeah. The heck was that? Oh, thank you for the follow. Thank you for the follow, Kitku. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Fun fact, if you guys follow, you get to throw 25 Dr. Peppers on the spot, and you get 300 channel points, and then you instantly get to throw more. Thank you for the follow, Kevin under the Kotatsu. I like that name. I love that name. That's a really cool name. See, there you go. Take advantage of that. We got somebody who knows what they're worth here. I love it. Wake up, man. Oh, I am. Is he going to be here today? So, unfortunately, he will not be here today. And going forward again, we may see him pop up. It's not that he's not going to be here. Like, he's completely done. He's done with the show. He's done with everything. It's just that going forward, ayo, I'm tired. I see. Well, Kevin, here, let me give you this. Let me give you this. You ready? Oh, where is it? Where? Crispy Dr. Pepper. Then I go lurk. I don't want to be here. Oh, Grease, I'm sorry. He's still here in spirit. He's sitting on the bookcase. Yeah. So, again, Phantom going forward will just be focusing on his responsibilities as both a father and focusing on his streaming stuff. So, please, go support him. He's wonderful. Whether or not he'll be back for, any other shows, we don't know yet. But in the meantime, I'm still here. The show's not going anywhere. And if you may have missed it, on April 13th will be the last episode of the VOD for Season 1. Then the VOD is taking a month-long break, and then we are going to be coming back the month later in May for the brand new season of the VOD. So until then, stay tuned. We're not going anywhere. I'm going to go to bed early lately, and I missed a lot of Val and Phantom time, Sally. Oh, you've been going to bed early lately. Oh, I see. Well, we're just happy you're here, Schmoozer. We're just happy you're here. So please, sit back, relax, stay, have some fun, drink some Dr. Pepper, throw some Dr. Pepper, throw some bits, and we will happily have you. If you guys haven't seen, oh, that messed up. If you haven't seen, check to see how many points you have. We have our fembucks in our community here. You can gamble that. I can give you fembucks, because here at the VOD, the points don't matter, and the scores are made up. So without further ado, why don't we continue? You have 10? Well, not on my watch. I'ma give you... Where is it? You misspelled points, Schmoozer! How could you? It's okay. I'll do this. It wasn't found! I'm gonna be a little sad. I'm a sad boy. Fembucks, schmembucks, where's the femboys? I see. Let's see. What if I do this? There you go. And you guys will understand why in a moment. So yeah, I'm so happy about today. Today's a good day. Why? Because one, I have all of you wonderful people, but two, I also get to do the VOD, which this is my VTuber talk show. Now, today, we will get to have another wonderful guest. Ah! Well, thank you for the follow, Taz. I appreciate it. Welcome, welcome. Have yourself a Dr. Pepper. Sit back, relax, gamble your fembucks, and we will have you here. Schmoozer is still gambling and still winning. So, what makes today special is because I have been able to interview several people from a wonderful VTuber group known as Project Asteria. Now, what separates them from other groups, in my opinion, is from what I've witnessed, not only between their members, but also between what I have seen the group been able to do and heard from secondhand sources, not only from the people who watch, but also from the people who are part of it, and just how well together the group is, both in terms of the people managing the individuals in there, and also the individuals who are part of the group itself. And so, to me, I feel like every time I have somebody on this show who's a member of that group, I am treated to a wonderful experience where I get to hear the same group of people talk about different things and experiences. And it's just such a privilege to be able to be trusted with this group, because I guess they just like the show. So you have they have no idea how much I love and appreciate that. The fact that they trust me, like the group themselves, they trust me enough to handle and talk about and interview their members. So it's truly a wonderful and humbling experience, especially to see how far the show has come, where I get to have these kinds of people on. So yeah. So without further ado, today we will be welcoming a fun-loving kitsune VTuber who has a passion in art, music, and everything cute and fluffy. Now, she may look rough and tough on the outside, but is sweet and motherly to all. She has been a streamer since August of 2019, a member of the group project Asteria. Please welcome Masayu. Every time! Why? I feel like I have dyslexia sometimes. MasumiMiyuVT or Mimi. Oh my gosh. Mimi, please. Whatever. Oh, give it a second, guys. Give it a second. She's coming into existence. She's popping in. This is what I had to swap with the software, and so we're having to see the camera focus on. There she is. Chill podcast like interviews are my jam. I'm glad. Yeah, and thankfully this is not a podcast. This is a talk show. Why? Because, oh my goodness. Thank you for the follow. Thank you, Kat. I appreciate that. You have a very chill voice. It's very pleasant to listen to. Oh, thank you so much, Taz. You have no idea how much I appreciate that. She looks like ice cream. I see mama. Let me put Mimi here a little higher up on our couch. There we are. That is a very waggly tail. The Dr. Pepper threw me off so bad just now. I am glad. Mimi, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great.
I see you are just reveling in what is a talk show if not a video podcast. That's true. See, the thing is, whatever we want to call it at the end of the day, the best we can call it is just a fun time. But yeah, so you seem to be really enjoying what's going on. Like, because this is not the first time we have talked. Like, one, I have spent a little bit of time in your streams. There was a stream you had where, recently, which was, it was a very interesting and vulnerable stream, which we'll talk about a little later. But it was just like, since being a part of that stream, that's when I realized this is a content creator that I know that I can confidently support. So, you know, having talked with you several times before this, which is honestly a really wonderful luxury where I can actually talk with more of my talents. I'm saying this like last night on a stream I was talking about how I want to create a group, like a V Shoujo-esque group, and how I want talents. And so with my guests, and just like being able to talk with you guys a little more before the show is something I love, because I get to learn so many things about you that I just otherwise would not have learned. So, you know, thank you for coming on the show. I really appreciate it.
I'm happy to be here. I've been so excited.
I as well. So before we go any further, I have to always ask my first question, because I have a tendency to get sidetracked very easily. So without further ado, and I realize I've been saying that. Mimi, who are you, and what is your story?
Hi, I am MasumiMiyuVT, Fox DD of Team Pastries. I have been streaming since of August 2019. I started streaming because I was a very, very shy person. I kind of decided to stream to kind of get out of my comfort zone. I'm still very shy. I'm sorry to say.
Abbott Internal,
yeah,
everyone.
right, I'm cute.
Abbott Internal, everyone. Another member of Project Asteria, and also one of my guests from last week.
And also my lovely boyfriend.
Aww, there you go. So
yeah, I was streaming to get myself out of the comfort zone and just to make friends. I actually started streaming while I was in the middle of college, and I was sitting in my college dorm. I'm like, I'm gonna do something with my life.
You know, it's funny that you say that, because that's where I am right now. Whoa!
Hey, yo!
Whoa! Yeah.
College!
Well, it's one of those things where I thought to myself, I'm like, I'm in college right now. I have some free time, not a whole lot, but I realized that, hey, this could be something that I could do on the side and sort of really dive into, engage in. I mean, one, I was kind of pushed into it a little bit by my one of my best friends, and then he'll fight me and say, I didn't push you, you chose to. So I'm like, yeah, but if you didn't tell me about it, I wouldn't have done it. But yeah. So why don't we actually go into that a little bit? When you started your college experience, like, so when did you graduate, first of all? Because we talked a little bit before, and you said that you've graduated recently, right?
So I've been to actually 4 separate colleges.
Really?
Yes. There were 2 colleges I was trying to study to, figure out more of like just who I am. And that didn't go over well. Then I went to another college in my area.
Yeah.
That didn't go over well. A lot of trauma and drama happened during that time.
Oh, no.
Ow, sorry, my dog just bit me in the ankle. Stop it. I then went to 2 colleges, but they're under the same program. It was like a 6-month. Oh shit.
No, you continue. Sorry, that'll happen throughout the interview, throughout the show. So, don't mind that. That'll happen.
But I went through 2 different colleges with their different locations. Is that what I meant? But they're like the same program, same college, where I got to spend 3 months just with oh fuck, buddy, stop biting me, with a small group of people. And I got to go to like Cambodia, Thailand, and then the second time I went back, I went to Mexico. So that's like 1 year of college under my belt that I do have certificates in and college credits in. So
are you still
that's
in
a little
college?
bit.
Or have you graduated?
Right now, no. I am not in college. I'm not planning on going back. I'm sorry, I'm gonna mute while I yell at my dog.
I mean, I once had a Great Dane where my Great Dane was massive. He was the kind of dog where, like, he'd walk up and like he would never bite or do anything like that, but he would walk up and she mutes her mic like she's strangling. What the Great Dane? You have my undivided attention. Oh, heck yeah. So, but yeah, I had two Great Danes. One was a Harlequin, so that means that he's black and white spots, and the other one was just a black Great Dane. I don't remember the breed. Great Danish guy here. I see. There you go. A Great Dane. I get that joke or that reference. And so he was the kind of dog where, like, I'm sitting in my chair right now, my desk chair, and if I angled my chair toward the door and he saw me, dude would walk in and now I'm burping. Goodness, it's contagious. So I turn to the door and I see him and he would just look at me and go, Woof. I'm like, oh, what do you want, buddy? He's just like, Woof. I'm like, okay, come on in. And so he'd walk in and the first thing he'd do is he'd look at me, turn around and back and park his butt up on my lap and just start inching his way back until his hind legs were off the ground, and he would just sit there on my lap, and I'm just like, I guess this is my life now, where I would just like scratch his like shoulders or scratch his like hindquarters, and then he would just look at me with like the gooeyest of eyes, like just he loves it. And it was a memories I'll never forget, because then he'd park his butt there and just be like, can you give me a snack, give me a food, because we'd always like keep our dog treats by like most every commonly sat chair in our home. And so you just knew that if he backed his butt up, sat down, he would just kind of sit there and just like turn his head where he would just he would rest his head on the armrest and just look at you until you fed him.
Aww, precious.
Yeah, he was such a cute dog. He was wonderful.
Aww.
And I'm 6'3". Like when I was in high school, I was probably about 6 foot 6'1". And this dog, we trained him where if you took both your hands and hit both of your pecs or your chest, you just do like a papa kind of thing, he would immediately like go and jump up and put his paws on your shoulders and stand with you, and he was taller than me.
Man, that's a big boy.
If you have a solid split of black and white, they're a mantle. The black with the white spots. Harlequin, kind of mob will look different shades, same color, kind of patchy. Merle, okay, so before we had the two, the dogs' names were Diesel and Sully. Super cool dogs. Sully was a Merle, excuse me, and Diesel was a Harlequin. So, you know, when we took them in from a shelter, because they weren't taken care of well, and they were still puppies. They were big puppies too, like 6 months old. So, you know, but I love those dogs. They're just so cute and so funny. Maybe I'll show a picture on stream one of these days, because like one of the pictures I have of him on a chair is he's just sitting there on my dad's lap, because that's where he would go the most. And we had so much dog hair. And I'm rambling about my dog.
I think it's sweet.
So, but yeah, back to white with black spots. I'm very excited because I don't get to talk about Danes enough. Danes are cool dogs. Like, if I was to get another dog once I move out, I'm getting another Great Dane. So.
Oh hell yeah!
And the thing is, my Great Dane lived to be about, let's see, so we got him about 2007, 2008, and he lived until about 2019. Which is incredible in terms of a lifespan of a Great Dane. Like, because they only live to be about 7 or 8 years old. We got him, we took well care of him. Like, he lived a long and happy life. So, yeah, he's such a cool dog. Let me take a sip of my drink. But yeah, I love him. I could talk about him all day. But back to that. So, did you like, are you just taking a break? Did you just initially take a break from college and then you realized, I could probably pursue this full time? And then you just realized, well, I don't need to go back to college since I'm supplying myself, supplementing myself now? Or was there like a different reason altogether where you're like, yeah, I think I'm done with college?
So I talked about a little bit that I went through an experience with a lot of trauma and a lot of drama.
Of course.
So that kind of like ruined college for me altogether. I was not in a great roommate situation. Ended up losing a lot of friendships with people, and it was just overall like really hard for me financially as well.
Well, college is not cheap.
No, it's not. I am very autistic and I have ADHD, and around this time, it was back in 2019 when I was going to this college. Mm-hmm. I wasn't getting the help that I needed for like, accommodations for people who have autism when they go to school.
Yeah, ADA stuff and IEP stuff.
Mm-hmm. So a lot of the classes were like really hard for me, and I just overall was getting really depressed and just anxiety ridden. And I was just like, I remember one day calling my grandmother and I'm like, I can't do this anymore. I want to quit. That's when I started talking to a therapist, and that's when I got also my first emotional support dog, Sadie. And I've been slowly trying to get mentally better. And that's when I did take a year off streaming. Like, I started streaming in 2019, but I took 2020 off from streaming. And was very on and off. And I officially became a VTuber back in 2022. And I've been kind of like a VTuber ever since then. I was a flesh tuber for a while.
A flesh tuber. It's like Phantom
it's
like Phantom is here in spirit, because that's what he says. Flesh tuber.
But yeah, I just overall don't. I overall just don't go to school anymore because I just never received the help from any teachers or any colleges that I needed help with.
So since going from college to something like this, did you find it all or see, that it was a better place mentally for you that you were able to do that? Because I know with some people, they use content creation like this, and they use streaming as a means of escape and better like mental health. Also, on a side note, sorry if the quality dips a little bit. Both of our internets are being a little bit janky, and so sometimes she will just like phase out of existence.
I'll become pixels.
You will become the pixels. I mean, technically, are we all nothing but pixels? But yeah,
True.
Were you able to find that through content creation, it was a better outlet for you to just express that creativity?
Oh yeah. Through VTubing and streaming, I have met so many amazing people who have inspired me to get better in my art, to really just come out and be myself and overall just mentally healthy.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if I could ever quit streaming and being a content creator, even in my 60s.
Oh no,
I don't think I could.
I get it. Now, if I may, are there any people that you would be willing to like say like who inspired you to kind of push yourself to do stuff like this? Because that's what you're kind of saying, is that there were these VTubers, these content creators, and these people that inspired you to do what you do now. It's like who might some of those people be?
So there are two VTubers that actually really inspired me to become a VTuber, and one of them was Iron Mouse.
Classic.
Yep, classic. And another one was his name is Kitty McPancakes.
Kitty McPancakes. I'm sorry, I have to. That's this person.
Yep.
I see. For a name like that, I wasn't expecting such a beautiful model.
I know his model's amazing. He just debuted it, I think, about in the middle of last year. He used to be like this different kind of a model, but I've followed him. He was the very first VTuber who I really talked to, and excuse me, I had a burp.
Nice.
So he was like the first person that like he kind of was. I remember asking him a question one time in the DMs. I was like, I want to be a streamer, but I'm a little shy. And he's like, nah, you can do it. Like, you just gotta, really just step out of the box and just do it. And I was like, you know what? Hell yeah, I'm just gonna step out of my little comfort box, and I'm gonna go become a streamer.
So then what's that like? Being able to interact and see with somebody like that whom you respect and you follow, just giving you that kind of encouragement. Because I've seen a lot of posts on Twitter recently where people are like, they have reached out, or they, sometimes they just make a post that mentions, somebody whom they follow, and they see them respond, and just like it fills them with like excitement and anticipation. Just like, wow, if they say it, I mean, I should maybe follow on that. So what's that like, getting that kind of response from this individual you follow and you respect?
I don't know. I kind of felt like he could have just totally skipped over my DM. Like, I bet so many people were like messaging him and everything, like thirsty girls, thirsty guys, I don't know.
Thirsty guys.
And like I was just like I sat there that night. I'm like, I don't think he's ever gonna message me, because I was a little fangirl at the time, and just seeing that message of him saying that, just go do it. I was like, if this big VTuber just sees my message and literally took the time out of his day to just tell me to go and do it, that just inspires me. It makes me want to inspire people to go out and do what they want, to do their dreams, and it made me thrive in that time.
Trust me, I completely understand how that feels. Like, so there's a you could call him a VTuber. I more know him from the little videos he posts, or the shorts he does on YouTube. But there's a streamer by the name of Penumbral, who, of like some of the bigger like VTuber news individuals, you have False ID, you have Kyo, you have, I think, Elira is their name, and then Penumbral's another one, which all Penumbral does is like the end of each week just post like YouTube short, just like, here's what happened in VTubing in 60 seconds. And so what people don't know is how much work I put in behind the scenes trying to ask people who want to come onto my show. And, you know, I reached out to him on Twitter, and, you know, I'm like, hey, I'm a big fan. You're one of the reasons, like, you're one of the reasons why I wanted to do a show like this, so I could talk to VTubers. And he responded to me, and he's like, you know, and I messaged him in December. He reached back out in January, and he's like, sorry it took me so long to reply. You know, I forgot that the message request was a whole thing. He's like, I'm busy with stuff on Twitter, or with IRL stuff, which is why I couldn't be like do my own streams. However, if I get the chance, I would love to come on. I appreciate the invite. I will let you know. And when I read that, I was like, oh my gosh, I was not expecting a response, period.
Man.
So, like,
that's so exciting though.
And I reach out to many different people. Do I get responses? No. And that's okay. But it's like one of those things where you just shoot your shot and you just see what happens. You know, and at that point, the basketball is out of your hand. It's going toward the hoop. And if it was destined to go in the hoop, you made your attempt. Did the stream die for anyone else? It shouldn't have. You're scaring me, Abbott. You're scaring me. No, sometimes it gets a little jittery.
What?
Sometimes it gets a little jittery.
I know I read that. I was like, huh? I hope it doesn't die.
But yeah,
oh dear.
But it's like, at that point, you shoot your shot and you hope it, you hope it goes in. And if it goes in, it goes in. It's a slam dunk. But if not, it's okay. So, you know, and seeing how, because you have 1.6 thousand followers on Twitch, which that's a pretty good feat. That is more than a lot of people, and I consider that a big success. So, like,
I was very shocked to reach 1,000 like last year. I was like, I didn't think I would make it this far.
And so with that, I imagine you're at this point, you're just seeing more growth. Because one, you're working hard to make all these things happen. Your bubbly personality is both refreshing and inviting. But not only that, you're just putting in a lot of hard work behind the scenes, not only with collabs, but also with working with your different group mates. At a certain point, do you hope that you can attain that same level of influence and just support that you can give other smaller creators that you aren't doing already?
I, more than anything, want to like as I said, I want to influence people to make themselves into the person that they know they can become.
Yeah. Audio
and
that happens. Don't worry, chat. The audio does that sometimes. I can't control Discord. That happens.
John is vegan. Is it me that sounded like a robot? Or
yeah, so you will sound like a robot. I've tried so long to figure out how to fix that. Maybe the best I can do is this. Oh, wonderful! They heard that. That is my Discord entrance sound for my server.
They heard mine.
That. So yeah, that is my Discord server.
Oh man.
Sound.
But yeah, I strive to influence people just to make them into the persons that they can be. And I actually one time did have somebody reach out to me once. This is before I met Abbott or everybody right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think I was around 500 followers around this time. I remember this person messaging me and they were like saying that they really look up to me and they loved my content. They just adored my model. I think it was around the time I had my first model. And they were just so overall just really sweet and just really encouraging. This is around the time too I was thinking about giving up on streaming because I wasn't really growing. And just that message of them saying that they love my personality and they just inspired to be a bubbly happy person like I am. And I was like, that stuff there, that keeps me going.
It's like, how? No, I was gonna quit. I was gonna be fine, be rid of this content creation rule. But you gave me the heart, the love and the enthusiasm. I gotta keep going.
I gotta keep going for you.
So then, in your opinion, at what point do you think a content creator has an obligation, in their own mind, to offer that kind of influence and support or be an example? Because sometimes I see people just like, you need to be that from the get-go. Whereas, once you start to reach affiliate or you're a partner and you start to do this full time, that's when you start, you should strive to be an example. So what are your thoughts on that?
I actually, from the very beginning, I had that mindset. I'm like, I need to be the example, even though, like, if this won't become a full-time job, if I won't get affiliate, if I don't get partner, I'm just gonna keep that mindset that be the streamer that you would watch, that you would enjoy. Hold on, I'm getting hot and I'm rolling up my sleeves because my dog is also biting my sleeves. Anyway, but he's demanding my attention. But yeah, so
It is certainly a heavy question to think about.
That is a heavy question to really think about, but I feel like, in all honesty, when I really think about it, is I think a streamer should be who they are, not just like this full-blown Sona, because I tried doing that. That got tiring real fast. Like, don't just keep playing this character every single day. Like, that also just mentally is so taxing. And I had to, when I did that and I went through that, that's when I just realized, I'm like, no, I'm going to be the streamer that I know I want to watch, but I'm also going to be myself. I'm going to be that. Oh shit, sorry.
Let's see, I get Dr. Pepper thrown at me, and you have a dog biting your ankles. I feel like we're both in pain.
We're both in pain. Well, he finally went and lay down. He was like, okay, Mom, I get it.
Where's
You're
Nova?
busy.
Where's Nova with his common phrase of, I gotta head out.
I love you too, honey.
I love you too.
Sorry.
Oh. Alright, one of us has gotta change it. It's not gonna be me.
Man.
We aren't there yet, BB.
Oh, hey,
it's
yo.
Called, Abbott, it's called a bit, Abbott. Follow the bit.
Follow the bit. Sorry. Hi, bud. Run. I had to throw away some friend. Run.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, man. I love that man.
He was certainly a comedy to have on the show.
Oh, he's so funny. He makes me laugh so much.
Yeah, we'll talk more about Project Asteria in a little bit. Continue on this. Continue on this is just, are there any goals or anything that you're hoping to achieve as you continue to experience this growth? Anything like you want to sort of be as an example to the VTuber community?
Actually, right now my main focus is to be on my break. Yeah. I moved into a new room, so I'm getting that all situated, and I'm also just overall, excuse me, I keep burping. I'm overall just kind of trying to get my life in order, just figuring myself out, because I, want my mindset to be well when I'm streaming. And goals of streaming, I don't really have any goals. I just kind of I guess my one goal is to try to reach 2K follows by sometime around this year or next year. I kind of, and my PC sounds like it's telling me to accept
assimilation. I'm sorry. There's nothing I can do to control that. Look, I've reached out to Discord, I've reached out to Twitch, and both of them kind of give me the finger. So there's nothing I can do.
Man. And it can't help that, you know, my internet is pretty bad.
Where's Robe?
But
Robe is an SCP fan. I think it's Robe. Anywho, sorry. Continue.
But yeah, I don't have any goals besides maybe getting 2,000 followers. I actually do plan on debuting my 2.0. I'm working on her. I'm pretty excited for that. I have not really been giving too many spoilers. I'm kind of keeping it in the dark.
There you go.
Just not really telling a lot of people, but I'm really excited about debuting her. I've been learning live 2D and drawing, so I can debut her. Yeah, actually, the model you see right now, I drew her and rigged her myself.
Heck yeah! I have so much respect for people who do that. Like, so I had my 2.0 model when I was given the PSD files. I'm like, oh, cool. Maybe I could save a little bit of money and do this myself with the rigging. And I was learning live 2D, and it's rough.
Oh yeah,
it's
rough. I remember when I first opened it, I stared at it for a good bit. So small, and I remember, I think I was in call with either Abbott or somebody else, and I was like, there's so much like tabs and like things. I'm a little nervous. I don't know what to do.
It's one of those things where you just have to kind of just jump feet first and hope it sticks.
Oh yeah. My grandmother and Abbott both were like the top people. Like, you can do it.
I mean, clearly
they were both
paid
very
off.
much. Oh yeah, it's paid off. I've learned so much since I actually started in June, live 2D rigging and such, and ever since then it's been so much fun, and I'm enjoying it. It's something that I plan on making a business out of, since I can't really work. I can't work a job. So yeah. Oh, hi buddy. I have my dog in my lap since he demanded so much attention.
Ooh, Taz offers a really good question. How often do you have to create a new skin to keep up the attention? Even professional VTubers need to make them to keep attention. Like, and that is a very good question to kind of think about, because when you see, it's pretty common to see all these big named VTubers, they unveil outfits like every other week. And it's just like, while it's beautiful, one has to imagine how much time and prep goes into that, hoping that it will work. I mean, for the most part, their communities are pretty accepting. Like, oh yeah, most any outfit is just gonna go well. But like, then you have, you know, someone like me where I don't really like to change my outfits that much. I mean, while it's nice, like, I have plans for more outfits for 3D Val here. You know, like 2D stuff. I have 2 more 2D outfits planned, but I'd rather have 3D outfits. But it's just like, how often do you think you'd have to create a new skin or a new outfit in order to create, you know, keep up the attention? Do you think people will ever get tired of the model you have?
I mean, my first model I had for like, let's see, I debuted I gotta think for a second. About like over 6 months, I had my first model. Not really had any changes. Just kept the same outfit and the same awful rigging. Sorry, not to throw shade, but it was. At that time, I think like, yeah, I wanted a little bit of a change.
Yeah.
Because like, I feel like as you grow, the more you change, the more that maybe your community changes. I don't think you should often change your outfit, because, you know, there's maybe people making fan art of you, or someone is like, you know, really liking your current design and just doesn't want to see changes. Like, sometimes change is a little hard on some people.
That's
I speak from experience. And so I feel like, at least I know the big VTubers are able to like really change because their communities are so big. They're probably making quite a bit more money than I am right now. So they probably do have the money to change their outfits if they want
Ah!
to, or even buy themselves a whole new model. Like I saw the VTuber Tricky buy a whole new spider Southern mommy model, and I was like, God damn, I wish I could just have a whole pretty model like that.
Yeah. Thank you,
And
Mike. Thank you, Mike, for the follow. I appreciate that. Sorry, continue.
aw, you're
Scared
good.
the crap out of me.
Boo. Um, but I think like the one thing, like yeah, I think some people are there for the model, but I feel like a lot of people are there just for the content to watch something when they come home from work or come home from school. Like I personally feel like you shouldn't have to change your outfit often to appease your viewers and your community. I feel like you just do you. That's my personal opinion. But
You know, it's interesting that you say that because I'm pretty sure Rex had the same thing to say when we had him on. For those that don't know, Lord Rexworth, another member of Project Asteria, excuse me, and we kind of talked about that a little bit about model design and how when we think about it, well, it's a lot of people do like to bring up the topic of, you know, all these different models that are being shown. Ultimately, what comes down to people staying is more or less the personality and the rapport you build with your audience. And the outfit just happens to be a byproduct. Like, for instance, if you look at my outfit, this is a plain outfit. It's just a short sleeve. Like, hold on. This is just you kind of see it there. It's just a short sleeve shirt, button up collared shirt over a white shirt, and that's it. You know, nothing too elaborate, nothing too fancy. And I like to think that it's, after a certain point, it's arm reveal. I've shown my arms! I've shown my arms, see? Oh, hold on, a little too far.
wait, art reveal?
A little too far. Yeah, I have arms. Oh, I see. That's super cool. I like the patchwork, by the way.
Thank you. That was actually inspired by my grandmother.
Oh yeah? How so?
My grandma's a seamstress, so she like
Oh.
makes these cute little patches when she fixes clothing, and I love them.
My mom used to do that a lot. Like, she was a master at her sewing machine. Like, for instance, the blanket I still have, like, it's a little baby blanket. I still have it. I keep it like in a corner of my bed with my childhood stuffed animal. Is one
Aww.
that sewed that blanket for me when I was a baby, and it's still held up 23 years later.
Oh, that's so sweet.
So
My grandmother has sewn like costumes for the theater here in town. We have two theaters, and she's sewn costumes for both, and made quite a bit of money doing that when she was raising my mom and my uncle.
are you a theater
So
kid?
I am a theater kid,
You're a
actually,
theater kid?
and a band kid,
And a band kid. All right, I know we're
and
talking
a
about
choir kid.
and a choir kid. All right, I know we're talking about VTubers. I want to talk about this for a moment. So, theater kid. Pardon me, theater kid. That's something I'll never forget.
Theater.
Wait, Mama did band and choir too. Yeah, how did you not know this, guys? I knew this. No, it's funny. So I took a voice diction class recently, and so one of the things, because we were learning the standard American English dialect, and it's a very prim and very proper way of speaking, and so when you speak, you have to very much. It's not English per se, but you're speaking with a very more open and rounded way of talking. Like, for instance, you don't say door, you say door.
Door.
Door. You know, you don't say jet, you say jet. you know. And so, one of the things he's like, the first word you're gonna learn, standard American pronunciation, it is theater.
Theater.
He's like, I'm half tempted to fail every one of you, any one of you, if you say theater.
Theater.
Theater. So I guess phonetically that would be theater. Theater. Yeah, there we go. Theater.
Theater.
And so
Sorry.
he always looked at us and just said, Mr. Luckhart, he always said, "Hey, you will pronounce it like this. It's theater." So I just thought that'd be funny to bring up because I'm like, he almost threw a book at someone because they said theater.
Man, just to watch a professor just throw a book across the room at a student, that's funny.
But he almost threw it respectfully. So
I love it.
As a theater kid, tell me, theater with a D. Hey, Breezy,
Theater.
welcome. I knew it as soon as we bring up theater. Breezy would show up. Breezy being one of our previous guests on the show, which one of these days I'll be doing another, like, after my first solo karaoke stream. I think it'd be really fun to get a bunch of VTubers and do karaoke, but that'll be a competition. It's called VTuber Idol. I dare you to ask Mimi what her favorite sauce is.
Oh no! Oh my fucking god!
Hey Mimi,
Yes.
what's your favorite sauce?
I love marinara sauce.
Marinara? What's wrong with marinara?
This is the way I say it.
Marinara?
It's marinara.
Marinara?
Marinara.
Marinara. I see. But oh yeah, I'll say that really quick. Yeah, guys. I'm planning a whole lot of competitions because I want to do more of that instead of my gaming stuff. And one of the like, for instance, the poster behind there, it's the Artist Cup that's happening next month. And if you're a VTuber and an artist, come join my competition, and you will compete against several other VTubers for the grand prize of a crappy drawing of your model made by me. So yeah, say mayonnaise. You gonna say mayonnaise?
Mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise. But the other one is VTuber Idol, where we'll have a singing competition between VTubers. So yeah, that'll be fun. But yeah, so hey Bunny, welcome. Freaking, I haven't seen that emote used in so long. But yeah, what kind of theater productions did you do, or the some of your favorites that you just really like? Because I have another question that'll tail into that.
So a lot of times I was like a background character, like a tree, a
Same.
bush, yada yada yada. But then I had my first role in Shakespeare's The Fifth Night, I think it was what it was called. I can't really remember. I played, this is kind of funny to me. I played a character named Valentine. And I sang a lot in that theater, in that theater production.
What is it?
I was the main singer. Man.
Anyway, hold on. I gotta come back. There we go. So, and the reason why I ask about that is because anytime I find out somebody did a lot of theater, either growing up or just in their life, I always like to ask, is there anything that you learned or gleaned from your theater experience that you carried into your content creation life? Because for me, doing theater a lot of my life, as you like, a lot of people can hopefully see, very theatrical. I'm very like almost Shakespearean in the way I deliver a lot of things. So it's a very big part of my life that I carried into stuff. So how about you?
For me, I feel like Abbott would very much agree to this, is my loud voice. I can get very loud.
You mean you project?
I project. Yes, I very much project. And oh,
Oh, no, no.
sorry. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, no, I understand that
I was,
completely.
but yeah, a lot of it too is like, I guess I can get into character when it comes to like certain games too. Like I could put on voices and really get into the character in video games.
There you go.
And I use that to like, I know, make my streams a little bit more fun.
Yeah. So I guess the last question before we go to a break is
Hmm.
is there any advice that you would give to somebody who like would just help, like something to practice or something just to help somebody who wants to be better at like being a streamer, like any techniques or theater stuff that you'd recommend that would help?
Imagine people in their underwear.
Would you... I mean, I understand it, but I'm just thinking about that in terms of a virtual context.
Like, I okay, so you know, I'm very much I'm sorry, I'm making myself laugh. How I help myself in theaters, I literally imagined a lot of people like, you know, in their underwear, or like they're not looking at you. They're looking at like something else. They're looking at their phones, yada yada yada.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and so just I would just be myself on that stage, not letting my anxiety get the imagine they're wearing granny panties. Hey.
What kind of underwear felt to be a lot of judgment made?
Man.
Guys,
I mean, it could be any underwear and like you think is funny. I don't know. I think like long johns are pretty funny.
long johns?
Is it?
Long johns are
Yeah,
expensive.
like that underwear. Like, yeah.
Honestly, I'd feel more judgment if I see an
Expensive.
entire crowd in expensive one-piece undergarments. Because then I just feel judged because I don't have those.
Man. Man.
Well,
Oh my goodness.
we have hit the hour mark. So,
Mm.
with that, why don't we take a 10-minute break? I will be here,
Okay.
and you can go take your dog out because you said you want to make sure
Yep,
you do.
he's scratching at my door. He's like, mother.
So this is what we're gonna do.
He's being a good boy. All right.
We're going to go to, where is it? It's this screen right here. And, yes. So now it's just me. And you guys will hear me speak. But, well, now we have an idea for Val's throne. What are you talking about? What? I have a throne, by the way, but there's only one item on my throne. Long johns? Actually, so, hold on. There's two things. Let's see. So there's that. And then let me do this, actually. So I'm going to get my model here. Ah! Scary monster! So I'll do this. They'll have me right here. The disrespect to the cat. Yeah, you'll have me right here. And the reason why we're going to take this little 10-minute break is, one, I'm going to start doing this more often for the show, is at the 1 hour mark. At the 1 hour mark, I will like have my guest take a little bit of a break, and I will chat with you guys, because it wouldn't be a Val stream if I didn't. Hey guys, since I've ran to my home, ran back to the station, now I'm visibly exhausted. Oh no. But yeah, it wouldn't be a Val episode of the VOD if I didn't bring up this. So for those that are uninitiated, let's see, I need to angle this. So for those that are uninitiated, forgot my ID for the Cons Alcohol Lounge, I see. But yeah, so for those, for the uninitiated, this is my flowchart that I do at every episode of the VOD. Because I'd like to hear what you guys think about it. I'm constantly changing. Oh goodness, constantly changing and improving this flowchart. And, you know, I like to hear your guys' input. And so this has gone over several revisions. And so, like, currently, this is, I think, version 6? But it's very easy. This is how we're defining, on this show, this is only under the context of the VOD, so, you know, it won't work if you go outside or whatever. You can use it if you want. But this is, excuse me. This is how all I read was food. Yeah. So, this is how we define things. It's the 4 S's, the soup, steak, salad, sandwich, thing. And so, we define it like this. Is it going to be eaten? Yes or no? And now, originally, it was, is it edible? So that was the original one, was is it edible? And so I had to change that because I got a backlash from that. Is like, well, technically a rock is edible. You know, technically a human is edible. And if we follow this thing, it be placed as this thing. And so is it going to be eaten? Think about it like this. Is it going to be eaten? Yes or no? No, don't worry about it. If you say maybe, just loop back on that question until you can go to yes or no. Is it state of matter, solid, or liquid? Now, for those that were here before, I had to rephrase this question because originally it was, is it a majority solid or liquid? I want food. I also want food. I'm going to eat my lunch after this because all I had was just some eggs and toast this morning with some ham, or with some turkey breast. So after this, I'm going to make some chicken and rice. That'll be super good. But yeah, so the first thing about this, or the second change about this was, is it a majority solid or liquid? And that is where the infamous humans are technically edible, and they are majority liquid, therefore they are emergency soup. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. And so I had to... When are you making a twin flowchart for drinkables? What? That's a very good idea. That's a very... I didn't think about that. Because this is... I come back to humans or soup? Yeah. Also, because that's the thing. Technically, water is soup. Because that's how we've kind of... If it's a liquid, like if its state of matter is a liquid, we just call it soup. So, but yeah, then is it a single mass or multiple parts? If it's single, it's a steak. If you're unsure, don't worry about it. If it's a layered dish, if it is not a layered dish, it's a salad. If it is layered, it's a sandwich. If you're unsure, I mean, technically the ocean is a soup too. The ocean is a big soup. So I was playing Elden Ring with my good buddy Phantom, previous co-host on the show, and he said, We're now the more sensible steak in V6. That's exactly what it is. Human soup in V5, steak in V6. That is what this evolved to. The ocean is a soup that's actually been seasoned. So yeah, we had this discussion where the ocean is just one giant bowl of soup, and that makes the earth, or not the earth, that makes the sun kind of a refrigerator, kind of a microwave. And so the sun is just cooking the ocean and just heating it, albeit a little more quickly because of human intervention. But, you know, the soup is just one giant bowl, or the ocean is just one giant bowl of soup. Because you have meat, you have protein, you have vegetation, you don't have milk, but like, I don't want to imagine ocean milk. That sounds really gross. I don't think there's really anything in the ocean that can be milked, that I know of. I'm not a marine biologist, so I don't know. But, you know, ocean milk. Yes, my favorite song, Ocean Milk. Ocean milk, take me. Alright, I'm not gonna finish that. But yeah. So, what I'm hoping to do is, while I do present this flowchart, what I'm hoping to do is, as the VOD continues, I'm hoping that, hell yeah, ocean soup, believers, let's go. What? Is this where I say that there's actually people who scout the ocean for whale season? No, I don't like that. That's not fun for anyone. They use it in high-end perfumes. Take 5 5-hour energies and enter the forbidden hour of the day. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Are you talking about ambergris? No, I thought ambergris was fat. Ambergris. No, it is! Solid waxy material produced in the sperm whale. No. Oh no, it's in the digestive system. Skunk spray is also used for perfume. Gross. What? Okay. Alright, ambergris is whale vomit used in perfumes. Because that's what I remember of that. It's flammable, too. It's freshly produced ambergris has a marine fecal odor. It acquires a sweet, earthy scent as it ages, commonly likened to fragrance of isopropyl alcohol with the vaporous chemical astringency. Y'all are making me want to toss out my perfume. Whale sperm is used in face creams. Why must you bless us with this cursed knowledge? Why must we be blessed with this cursed knowledge? This is blurst. This is by far not Poggy Woggy. But yeah, so as what was I gonna say? Actually, my mind is like 83% cursed knowledge. I see. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so as the show progresses a little more, because we're in episode 32, I'm hoping to have, like, expand this so that when we take a break, we're actually going to have somebody else here, like, kind of talking and doing a little bit of a segment, which I think would be really fun. Kind of like a 10-minute news hour. Wait, 10-minute news segment on VTuber News. I feel like that'd be super cool. You know, I'm still trying to workshop it, still trying to figure it out. So the skunk is used because it has a strong musk that lingers for a long time. They then overpower it to make it smell good, so it smells good for a long time. Is that what they use in Axe body spray? So yeah. Mimi, are you back? I don't know what Mimi expects from me. My first message in her chat was about... Oh my gosh! Alright, let's get rid of my little guy there and let's go back here. It's gonna look like a demon for a moment. Bear with us, guys. Ah!
Rar.
Rar. It's like one of those things where you wake up and you're like half asleep, and so you see you're trying to, oh hey Bubbles, welcome, rar, oh whoa. And you're trying to like see, but you just can't, so everything's super fuzzy.
I'm sorry.
I'm surprised we haven't gotten an Ara Ara or an Uwu redeem. That might change.
Oh man.
That might change. Rar X3 pounces on you, Uwu, you so warm. You just jinx.
Okay, you're gonna get that song in my head.
You wake up to me sending cursed knowledge from my 10+-year-old cursed memory banks. It takes a minute. Oh, I see. They do still say Fant. Oh. Are you talking about the redeem? Let me see about that channel points. Let's see. Oh no, that one just says, you know what it is.
Hi, buddy.
Nope, says Val now. Oh, okay. I see. Well, let's get back to the discussion at hand. So, now that you're back. Oh
Yep.
my gosh. Why? You're my guest!
Oh no, my dog. Hold on. Continue.
So what I was... How dare you redeem that on stream for the VOD? That's on me, but like,
Man.
030. Oh, I get it. Notices you have a no bubbles. Bad bubbles.
Hey, yo!
Bad bubbles.
Do I need to get the spray bottle?
All right, hold on. I've never gotten this on during an episode of the VOD because nobody's redeemed.
Is it like a femboy Hooters outfit? I'm curious.
No, it's not. It's the way I talk.
Dang. Oh boy.
It's the way I talk. I'm a bubble, not a cat. Ayo. Hooters outfit? No, but Maid Val is coming soon. So I'm just putting that out there. Alright.
Have you seen my model moving around? Like, my dog has my jagged sleeve and he's just tugging.
Oh, I see. Maid Val. So stay tuned. Alright, I can't believe it. So you redeem this. So if I end up not talking because Mimi here is talking longer, that's on you. That's on you. Anywho, so Mimi, the next thing we're gonna talk about is your membership of Project Asteria. And what I wanted to see is, what are your thoughts and what are your feelings about, you know, your whole experience being in such a group like Project Asteria?
Okay. So before Project Asteria, I was actually running my own VTuber group. That shit. Sorry, he's biting my fingers. And that group didn't go over too well because they kind of staged a coup and kind of took the group from me in a way, or it felt like they did. And I let's just say the person I was dating at the time was letting me get yelled at by a friend and just let me just sit there and get yelled at. And so that was just a whole drama that was pretty awful. And actually Abbott really very much helped me get out of that phase because I was in a pretty dark phase around that time. Just like I lost a lot of friends and like felt like I failed as a leader at the time, and that I didn't have what it takes to be in a group or to run a group. And it was very hard. And when Abbott told me he was planning on putting in an application for Project Asteria, I was like, and he was like, you should try too. And I was like, I don't know, let me think about it. And I met like Sam for sure. I met a few other people from that group, and I'm like, oh, these guys are actually pretty nice. You know what? I'm going to do an application. And I just kind of found out I was accepted, and I was like, oh, I didn't think I would get this far. And ever since then, they just been really sweet, and they become a family to me, like my second family right away. I feel like I can tell them everything and really lean on them when I'm feeling anxious or just feeling upset. Like, but I love Project Asteria. They're just filled with amazing leaders, amazing people.
I'm just trying to make sure I don't, because doing a voice like this, especially when you're talking and having such a tender and serious conversation moment, I'm trying to make sure it does not come off as inappropriate.
No, it's okay.
So
I think it's funny.
I'm so sorry. So, what I was...
I think it's funny.
I'm gonna end my timer. So the thing is, I refunded those points. I refunded them. So because of that, I can stop. I'm sorry. As soon as as soon as you started talking about how serious I was like, no, I have to keep going with this.
Man.
So, uh, but yeah, I mean, it's wonderful to hear that you're having a much different and welcoming experience from that, Sawi. Now, yes, I said I'm so sorry in lowercase. What were your expectations like going into a new group like this? Oh goodness, I get the hiccups. Considering that the experience you had in the past, and all you're going off of is word of mouth from one of your friends.
Honestly, what I was expecting out of Project Asteria, what I was really trying to do in this group is, my ex was really trying to turn it into a corporate, and I was like, I absolutely don't want to go corporate. I feel like just how it is, it's great. We're all doing our own thing, doing collabs together, just kind of vibing and hanging out. Like, I think this right now, it's good as it is. And like with Project Asteria, it's exactly kind of how I wanted my group to be. Like everyone's doing their own thing, but we're all together here to support each other and just to kind of help each other grow and just give us that confidence boost that we all need. I'm sorry, I'm hearing my dog just chewing. What are you chewing on? Oh, he's chewing on his phone. So with Project Exteria, I wasn't at first expecting a whole lot because like I didn't know very much about them at the time. But ever since I've joined, it's just they have exceeded my expectations, and I just love and adore them so much. As I said, they're like my second family. I would do anything for any of those members.
Well, I mean, and I've heard so many good things, not only about you, but just about how close together people describe that group. I mean, it's so interesting that you say that. Oh, also I want to verbally say it. Hi, Jacob. Welcome. Have a Dr. Pepper. But just the one thing that you said that really stuck out to me was how you said it feels like a second family. And the reason why that sticks out so much is because that is something that Rex, something that Abbott, something that Genevieve, all three of them said as well. That it doesn't feel like a group, it feels like a second family. And so it's interesting is how do you make sure you foster and keep that? Because having it feel like a second family, that's not something that only one person does. Instead, that's something that you kind of do as a group collective. So how do you, in your position at Project Asteria, make sure to maintain that sense of second familyness?
I try to like really reach out if particularly if I see like a member kind of having like a hard time overall. I'm kind of just like I send them a little message. I'm like, hey, like I hope everything is okay. Or I sometimes when I'm not as busy, because you know I do have a life outside of the internet, I try to like say good morning or good evening, or I send a cute meme here and there. And if they're like talking about a topic that I do have pretty good knowledge in, I kind of tend to squeeze my way into that kind of conversation. I just try to be as active as I can. And just kind of, I guess, really put myself out there with the group. Especially since I've been mentally not in a good place for a little bit. You mentioned Rex a lot. I was gonna say when I was feeling particularly depressed, Rex was definitely one of those people that reached out and was so sweet and just listened to everything that I wanted to vent about, and he really listened to me.
I feel like
I talked his ear off.
I feel like at a certain point, when it comes to either content creation or just, wanting to connect with people in general, I feel like that's all anybody can ever want and ask for is just someone to listen to. Not necessarily a wall to bounce things off of, but just it feels good. It feels nice to be heard. And so, in the conversation with Rex, like, I will always maintain that was such a good show, and it was a very good first impression that I got with Project Asteria, because excuse me, because when he was talking about, because I was seeing a little bit of his stuff when he was pursuing more things like in Twitter, and then really growing stuff. Pardon me. I put out a tweet onto Twitter, and like I said, hey, I'm looking for people to be on my show who wants to be a part of it. And he responded with, he said, hey, I'm interested in doing it. And I reached out to him and I said, hey, would you be interested in coming on my show and talking? He's like, oh yeah, I'd love to. That'd be so much fun. Like, okay, cool. So we actually do that. And as we're talking, I'm just learning so much about this group you're a part of, and then it's only reinforced when we had Genevieve on, and then having Abbott as well. Clearly it shows how the balance that needs to be achieved when you're in a group like this, because we're noticing a lot of stuff that's happening with an agency and corporate stuff that I feel like I wish we had that in a group setting. Now, speaking of that, because I imagine you're keeping up with all the whole Niji Sanji stuff, right?
Oh yeah, I've been keeping up. I always kind of watch like the big VTuber companies. So yeah, I've been keeping up with the whole the Sanji drama.
Yeah. Don't worry guys, I'm not here to be like, yes, what are your thoughts on Niji Sanji and just let's talk about the drama. No, that's not what this show's about.
Let's talk about the drama, yeah.
Now, what I was instead going to ask is you see the group that you have and you see the group that Niji Sanji is. What do you think, in your opinion, makes a good to create a good relationship between the group that manages you and how you can keep the peace with your group mates as well? Because clearly I'm seeing a lot of success with your group on the internals. I'm seeing a lot of unsuccessful stuff in Niji Sanji. So, what might cause that success for you guys, whereas for them it's unsuccessful? Not necessarily your opinion on just why Niji Sanji's failing, but just, just differences, noticeable differences.
I knew from the very beginning with the Sanji, it was very much a popularity contest kind of deal. Which VTuber is more popular? I feel like when it comes to Project Asteria, I think we all put each other in the same light. It's not a popularity contest. We're all here to just like encourage one another and to look out for each other, make sure we're all comfortable and that we're all mentally and physically feeling great and well. I don't think it's just, this Sanji with the popularity contest, but like, it's just what I've seen from all the big corporate VTubers, in my opinion. I just feel like it's a whole like popularity contest. But when it comes to me and Project Asteria, I don't see it as a big old popularity contest at all. I don't see that.
Do you instead see it as when you get and work for a company at that point, you feel like there's much more of an obligation to perform and rise above certain people? Because from the outside kind of looking in, at least the way I see it is, well, it's nice to be a part of an agency. At a certain point, it is a business and it's a company, and you want to make friends, but at the same time, you want to be the best one there and make the most money, and it becomes a competition. Where I feel like that's some of the success that you can see that separates it from like VShojo or any Face Connect or things like that, is they're more talent agencies that or talent management groups that instead they merely represent the individual, but the individual still holds all the cards to their IPs and all that. And at that point, you're just doing your own thing. Hey Val, can I use my IOU on Gilbert Gottfried? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. After this little bit of questions, I can't. I really can't separate the financial interest from the culture in those agencies. That's a very good point of bringing it up. Also, welcome Guaco. For those that don't know, Guaco was our guest last week on Saturday. Guaco's a really fun guy, really fun. But yeah, it's just at that point, I feel like that's one of the things that makes groups rather than agencies thrive, is that environment of you're there and you're a part of a group, like a club. You're not exactly competing with each other. You just happen to be in the same place at the same time. What are your thoughts?
That's actually exactly kind of how I feel about it, how I see it. It's just a group, like a little club, like I guess, for example, like a little fan club. Like we all enjoy being VTubers. So now we're a group that just enjoys being a VTuber and making content and doing like song covers or collabs, video games, ASMRs. That we're just all a big group of nerds that enjoys doing that stuff.
Yeah, and you just happen to see that the interests align, where somebody's like, hey, we talked about VTuber drama. Buddy is not liking it.
But he's like, I don't like you talking about this kind of stuff.
Yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, it's just, it happens to see that, hey, a bunch of people like this thing. What if I started this thing? That way you guys can have a better, more solidified place to do this. I feel like that's kind of what I see with how groups these days are being more managed. Because kind of signing your soul away to the corporate overlords where you kind of are expendable doesn't exactly sound enticing. You know?
Does not sound like a good time.
Yeah. So then, my last question for this segment will be this. What advice would you have for people who are considering auditioning or applying for any agency or talent group as a VTuber?
My advice is to really probably study the agency first. Probably go check out their talents. Kind of watch them for a little bit. Probably like just kind of really think about like, should I sign up for this? Should I really do this? Buddy, I know, Mama. Here, I'll pick up the first. But really just kind of sit down and really think, like, do you want to sign up for this this group? Sorry, I can't speak. Like for me, personally, I'm very much a person that likes to put a lot of research and just kind of sit back in the sidelines and watch and see if there's any icks, if there's any red flags. And I kind of was like, nope, don't want that, can't do that. Just really take the time before you join a corporate or an agency. Don't just jump right into it, because, you know, as somebody who once would just dive in head first, you learn the hard way that that's not the greatest idea. Okay, fine, go to the... Sorry. Just from my lap. No. Just don't... Buddy, I would love to speak, thank you. Gracias. Anyway. Just really take the time. The world isn't ending. You got time to sit back and just really think about if this is the right choice for you.
Yeah, that's really well put. Having the foresight to see, like, what all is, what all you were trying to sign up for is perhaps the best advice one could give. So I think you nailed that on the head. So yeah.
Thank you.
Why don't we shift a little bit forward to a one last section before we kind of wrap things up. Now, one thing I'm wanting to do a little more is kind of ask just general basic questions, you know, just you know, fun questions, and I'm trying to see about getting more like audience related questions.
All right.
And so it was interesting that we were talking like during the break before we were talking about perfumes. Like, now, let's not get too much into the perfumes and how they're made, but one of our wonderful viewers asked, what smell brings you back to your childhood and why?
Oh man, this probably might be a little funny.
Uh-huh.
So, like, you know, when you go to a gas station and you smell gas, that's the smell.
Is there a reason why?
I think it's because when I was a kid, my mom and my dad would go on road trips a lot, and we will always stop by like the gas station to go.
Sorry, just
You good?
sorry, just got hit with Dr. Peppers. Thank you for the follow, Lil. I appreciate it. Little naps. I appreciate the follow.
That's my mod.
Heck yeah, welcome. Well, guess what? You got 300 channel points. Now you can throw 200 of those to throw another 50 Dr. Peppers at me. Oh. Yeah, it's.
So yeah, me and my family love to travel and go on vacations a lot, so we would always stop by gas stations. So like anytime I would be at a gas station, I'll just have like a memory of being in the car with my mom and my dad and my siblings, just having fun conversations and just going on an adventure.
Yeah, I mean, when I smell gasoline, I think of the summers that I would be mowing my lawn, and my dad would be like, "Hey, that was so good. Here's a crisp $20 for your hour of work," and I'm like, "I could do so much with this." And like,
oh man, $20.
$20, and I did so much work, so much back-breaking labor. Let's go! And so I remember one summer, I want to say it was like 2013. Let's see. So I was right. It was 2013. It was 2013. Where I was saving up money. And I am a big fan of the BioShock game series. And at the time, I had played BioShock 1 and BioShock 2. I played them so many times. It was so much fun. And then, when BioShock Infinite got announced, which was the third game in the series, like, I lost my mind because I wasn't thinking there was going to be a third game for that. And I pre-ordered the game, $5 at GameStop, pre-order the game. And I worked so hard for a month to save up the money to buy BioShock Infinite. And when I finished mowing the lawn, my dad paid me the $20. I said, "Dad, can you drive me over to GameStop?" It was maybe like 2 miles away. It was like, so it was pretty close by. And he's like, "Oh yeah, sure, let's get in the truck, let's go." And I'm like, "All right, let's go." We got on my dad's Ford F-150, and it was this wonderfully long, like, desert tan truck that I will never forget. It had a cab, so it had a crew cab, so it had the 2 seats in the back, 2 seats in the front. It was cramped, but let me tell you something. I learned how to drive in that truck, and so, pardon me. And so, we drove there, and the sun was setting. It was a nice, like, 80, 85, maybe 90 degrees outside, and
oh, whoa, I'm sorry.
I just slammed my hand underneath my desk because of that pipe. Oh my gosh, I feel like that just made both of us.
I'm so sorry.
I feel like it made both of us jump. Jeez.
Sorry, a man walked by my window, and now Buddy's like, "Intruder."
Thank you, chat, for that. Your timing is impeccable as always.
Ooh.
My goodness. Well, going back to the story, it was a beautiful March day, and driving there, sun was setting, GameStop was close to closing. I walk in there with my crisp $60. I'm like, Ron, and Ron had been working there for years. Thank you, John. I appreciate that. You are a real one, G. Oh, that metal pipe scared me, gave me a heart attack. Because it's so loud in my ears. And I just remember handing those $60 to him. And Ron and I knew each other. Like, you know, I've been buying games from his GameStop for the past, like, 5 or 6 years. And so, you know, I was like 13 at the time. And so, actually, no, it wouldn't have been. Because that was around the time we moved to that area. So, but regardless, we went there. I got the game. I went home. And now whenever I smell gasoline, I just think of that wonderful March day. And just think of Bioshock Infinite. It was a very good time. Wish I could go back. Nostalgia.
Going back to the good old days when you didn't know that the world was pure chaos.
Back before the time I realized I needed to buy my own health insurance. Dad, what do you mean I have to get new insurance when I'm 25? When that's done the brakes,
Man.
son. Oh, man. Ooh, also, guys. Hey Val, can I call you Val? I'm just curious. Did you come up with these topics ahead of time, or did you come up with half VOD off the top of your head? So I come up with a lot of the thing is my goal is I come up with these, like, for the most part on the spot. Like the sections I choose, I typically like to break it down into 30-minute segments. So like the first 30 minutes is I'm getting to know who my guest is. The next 30 minutes is I have a section of questions and topics that I ask. And so the second section with Mimi here was I was asking her about just her experience as a streamer, that with her studies and how she pursued and continued to want to do this as she's growing, and the responsibilities of being a content creator. The next one was being a part of a group, so that was the next 30 minutes. And this last section is just whatever questions pop up, so you can just get to know her a little more. So yeah, but all the questions I come up with on the spot. I write some of them down, but for the most part, most of the questions I ask are all off the top of my head. So, I hope that answers that question. But anywho, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, that's right. Before I forget, we have a new channel point challenge, guys. It's the Val Femboy Maid stream. So just want to point that out there. I won't talk about it until later. So, but the next question, you contributed 350 to that.
There you go. That's all the rest of my points.
Hell yeah. But we had another question that wanted to be asked, which was, do you know what copy pastas are?
I know a few copy pastas.
What's your favorite?
A few of them.
What's your favorite? One of our viewers wants to know what your favorite is.
There's a few horror copy pastas.
Horror?
I kind of like. Yeah. So one of them that I was very much intrigued with was I think the Russian sleep study.
Oh, you mind explaining that for those that don't know?
It was just like they took like a group of men, put them in a room full of gas, and made them stay awake, and it got to the point that they kind of got really addicted to the gas, wanted to stay awake, and they just got my dog just purposely dropped his bone on my floor, but just like they all went full-blown crazy. And like how I come to find that out was like I saw a picture of this creepy guy with like big old eyes and just like this creepy grin, and he just looked so skinny, like he hasn't eaten, and I was like, who the what? And so I like creepy copy pastas, even though I don't play a lot of horror games because I'm a scaredy cat, but I like to read it.
I will ask you a question about that in a moment. Salutations, all of you. I am new to the internet, so you guide me on the language barrier. I've heard stuff like "gyat" and that, but I don't know. It can help you. Can you help me understand the internet?
No, I can't really fully understand it.
You're right. You're right, Britain. It's not funny. So get is get your act together, or when you see something curvy, or like it makes your brain go awooga. Something like that. Now, like,
yes, Taz.
like as somebody once told, or somebody once said in a YouTube short I saw, there were all of these words that kids these days are using, like skibbity and phantom tax.
Oh God.
I don't know. I don't understand. Also, thank you, Guaco, for contributing to the Femboy Maid stream. There are so many words. I don't know what skibbity toilet means. I don't know what
I don't know either.
I don't know what skibbity means. But I know that gyat means get your act together, and when you see something curvy or voluptuous, something that makes you go, ooh.
Awooga.
Awooga. You know.
Full on monkey mode.
Full on monkey. I hope that answers your question, Britain. So it is. I'm not a linguist, so I can't do as much. But if you give a follow, you can throw Dr. Pepper, and I can research your answer your question a little more, a little something. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I gotta make a living too. You know, this is also a job. Anyway, but yeah. So I am. Well, I know you were. So. Moving a little bit forward, what is a femboy? I just noticed it.
Oh no. Oh boy.
What is a femboy? My good sir, would you like the definition of a femboy? Allow me to do this in my... Let's see. What is...
You also got an ara in there.
I know. I see that, and we shall do that in a moment. So... Would you like the dictionary definition from Wikipedia, or would you like the Urban Dictionary definition? One will be more concise and to the point. That is a picture of a femboy I see on my screen. I don't know if I like that. I want to talk to my parents. Would you... So this is what Wikipedia calls a femboy. Femboy, also spelled femboy with an I, is a slang term for a male or non-binary individual who expresses themselves with traditionally feminine behaviors. As an internet aesthetic, it may be used through the use of jewelry, wearing feminine clothing and makeup, or expressing feminine behavioral qualities. Femboy can also be used as a sexual or a non-sexual term. It does not denote a specific sexual orientation or gender, but instead marks a form of gender variance. I'm starting to think that's something I should know. I should... So, the Urban Dictionary definition states that a femboy is a person typically under the age of 30 years old who is biologically male. However, this person will often present himself in a very feminine manner. This behavior may be exhibited part of the time or all of the time. Let's see, and that's a whole different can of worms of I'm not going to get into. But yeah, basically, there's a whole chart, like a whole video. I think his name is Professor Lando did. That's like a streamer, and had a whole like chart to explain like the femboy axiom, or the femboy like how would I describe it? It is there are words to describe people. So you can use bear, you can use hunk, you can use twink, you can use femboy.
Oh my.
So that's gonna be a stream for that's a discussion for a different stream. Okay? So, anywho, I want to get back to the Russian sleep experiment thing. Before we have an aura. We gotta do that aura. You're just weird.
We gotta do the aura.
I am not weird. Need. Wait, ABC, what do you mean need? What are we needing? So, I do an Ara whenever I get the redeem. Now, I like to extend the offer to my wonderful guest. And you don't have to do it if you don't want to. Don't worry, Abbott was the first. I'll call him out. Abbott was the first one to decline it, so you would no longer be the first to decline it.
Doing an Ara.
An Ara.
I mean, I do pretty good Aras. Just
Do that Southern Ara?
funny enough, I'm not Southern.
I'm just imagining. You have a country girl. She lives in the Florida Georgia line. So
I actually live next to a whole bunch of farms and orchards. So.
I see.
Yeah.
Well, so I'll do my Ara first, and if you want to do it right after me, there's that.
All right.
Ara.
Aw, that was actually kind of cute.
Oh, thank you. That really.
You're welcome.
Thank you for the follow. Thank you for the follow, Copper Spade. I appreciate that. Oh, it scared the crap out of me.
That's my friend Cooper.
Let's go! Alright.
A lot of my friends are following you today. It makes me kind of happy.
Well, it makes me happy too, because they're coming to support you.
Are you almost dropping my microphone?
Oh,
okay.
no.
Alright. I was getting ready to do my Ara.
Alright, let's hear that Ara.
Thank you.
Where is it? There it is.
I bow.
That was a good one. Dang, now I just want to hear what it sounds like if like an apple,
if I actually use my accent.
Actually.
My accent? Alright.
Your accent.
Ara.
I can't even think linguistically speaking, because you just have just going ara. Just like
Just like that.
Pardon me, little lady. You tell me you want that ara.
Oh my god, that ara.
That ara. Because the thing is, that southern accent is fundamentally in a different part of the region of the mouth and the throat than it is for just the stereotypical RR. Because when you do ara, you're saying that with more breathiness going outward, and the back of the tongue is hitting the roof of the mouth a little bit. Just ever so slightly, but the front of the mouth is just you're hitting the like the alveolar ridge of your mouth. So you're going whereas when you start to do a little bit of that southern accent, suddenly a lot of your tongue starts to hit the back of the roof of your mouth.
Yeah.
And now you suddenly can't do that normal R sound because your R's are not hitting the front of your mouth, instead it's hitting the back.
Yep.
And so it's like it's Schrodinger's R.
From houses down to his science. Yeah, it is.
Bro, call me the Dr. Stone of RRing. My goodness.
I love that.
Well, we're getting down to the end of our show here. So, why don't I ask you our last 10 questions? All right? Now, these 10 questions, all right? Oh, before we go into that, somebody said, where is it? Who said, what is the Femboy challenge? So the community challenge. I'll be unveiling a maid outfit for Val, for my 3D Val here, and I'll do an entire stream where I go to my true femboy nature like this. And it'll be an entire stream of just being this, my true femboy bottom nature. So, be a part of that. It's a very manly stream. You know you'll like it. Don't worry about it. Thank you for contributing the 250 channel points straight to that challenge. I appreciate it. I don't know.
I love the different voices you do. It's so cool.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I wouldn't be a voice, or I wouldn't be a VTuber if I didn't say I was a voice actor.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Bubbles. I'm sorry. Sorry that you don't like that. That was my like Ford F-150 voice. You know that feeling?
Oh god.
You know that feeling when you lock a bunch of men in a room and subject them to gas, and one of them turns out to become a monster and eats everyone and kills everyone else? That's what it feels
The
like.
Russian sleep experiment.
That's what it feels like to run a Ford built tough. Anyway, that's enough of that.
No. All right.
So let's amen to that, brother. Hell yeah. Hooah. Gotta get that hooah in there. So anywho, these 10 questions are questions that I took from James Lipton, a famous writer, actor, director, who hosted a show called Inside the Actor's Studio, and at the very end of every one of his episodes, he would ask his guests these 10 questions. Now these questions, thank you, Bombastic, these these questions do not have a correct answer. There's no right answer, there's no wrong answer. It's just simply 10 questions where we just see what your thoughts are. Sound good?
All right. Sounds great.
All right. So,
All right.
there's the beauty about these questions. These questions stay, and you just get to answer them. Very easy. Anyway, that's enough of the Matthew McConaughey. Get out of here, Matthew! So the first question is, what is your favorite word?
My favorite word,
Yes.
oddly enough, is Gucci.
Gucci!
Gucci. Because I like to say when instead of me, I feel great, I say I feel Gucci.
Yeah? Okay. Then inversely, what is your least favorite word?
Ooh. It's a letter that starts with an F and ends with a T.
Rar.
I'm so sorry, I just heard text-to-speech go rar in my ear.
I saw that.
Starts with F and ends in T. Is it a
Yeah.
size thing?
It's like kind of like a slur that people call
yes,
a lot
okay.
of people. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That is not a nice word.
That is not a nice word. It's my least favorite word in the entire
I
world.
completely understand. So then what turns you on creatively, spiritually, or emotionally?
What turns me define the question a little bit for me, like.
So meaning like, for instance, something that turns me on creatively, spiritually, emotionally is like music. Like when I start to hear music, that's when I start to really feel like I can get into a good creative process, or just it puts me in a nice. It uplifts me. Like when we were talking before, listening to that song I was showing you, that was lifting me up. It was turning me on spiritually. Music is something that really helps me. So what would turn you on creatively, spiritually, or emotionally?
A lot of times it's actually, yeah, it's music. I have particularly this one song I really like. Sorry, my dog is really scratching at the door. He wants to go out and explore, even though I'm the only one in the house. But it's definitely music. But like my one favorite song that I really, really love to listen to, me and Abbott kind of claimed it as our song, is "Here in Your Arms" by Hello Goodbye.
Ooh. There you go. I said music is a very powerful tool that connects a lot of people. Like I might be doing a cool little YouTube short on them in the future about why music is has such a cathartic release. Super cool. So then by that same token, what turns you off creatively, spiritually, emotionally?
I guess, but like, that's really hard because sometimes it really depends on what happened that day, or kind of what's happening within like my friend group, or like I guess for example is like if one of my friends is kind of like going through something pretty hard and just like overall their life is just in shambles, that just kind of takes away that takes away my enjoyment of like streaming because then my main focus is on that person, and I'm just like, I try everything in my power to really focus on that person.
Yeah. Good.
Hi, bud.
Mono, thank you for resubscribing. I appreciate it. You have to do that. You're late, my guy. You were streaming, doing your Goose Goose Duck, which I would have been there, but
Ooh,
I
Goose
stayed
Goose
up,
Duck
I
is
stayed up
fun.
late. You're not late, Mono. You're just in time. But thank you for being here. And I need to make sure I'm subscribed to you as well. All right, next question. What is your favorite curse word?
I say it a lot is fuck.
A lot of people like that word. One of these days, like, for all of these questions, I'm probably going to start, like, go through all of these questions that I've asked and just make several, like, kind of magnet boards and just have people's responses. And I'm gonna cluster a lot of them together. Like, it's just the F word. That's a very popular one. Also, Monozuki says you're a beautiful person.
Oh, thank you. You're so sweet. I'm gonna give this person a follow. Hold on.
So if that's what your favorite curse word is, what sound or noise do you love?
So there is like one sound I really, really like. So as I said, I was a band kid. I really like the sound of a saxophone because that's the instrument I played a lot.
What kind of saxophone?
Tenor saxophone and baritone and alto. I can play all of them.
So then,
but tenor is my favorite.
Then I have to ask, do you at all listen to jazz?
I listen to jazz all the time.
Really? Oh my gosh.
I do.
I have yet to meet another VTuber that really likes jazz as much as me.
I was a jazz band for 2 years in my middle school and high school years.
I see. So, Careless Whisper, Baker Street, both are really good. Baritone is not
both
a
are
sax.
really good.
But baritone.
Yeah, baritone saxophone. Yeah, that's a thing.
It's the very sax. So, do you know of a jazz artist by the name of Dave Koz?
Wait, let's say that again.
Do you know of a jazz artist named Dave Koz?
I think I do. So I remember actually going and meeting like a famous saxophonist when I was in middle school, but I can't remember his name at the moment.
So if you ever have the chance, like, I mean, if you're gonna be in this VC after we raid out, I can show you one of his songs. Like, Dave Koz he's such a good smooth jazz artist. He's one of my favorite. So I highly encourage that. Another one, I think, what is it? George Benson's a guitarist. Which one am I thinking of? Yeah, Grover Washington Jr.
Oh,
do you know Grover?
Yeah.
You know Grover Washington Jr.?
Oh yeah.
So, like, people often don't think about how influential he was when it came to the popularity of smooth jazz. And not only that, this goes for you and anybody else in chat. You know the song "Just the Two of Us"? So, you know,
I love that song.
Yeah. So for those that don't know, that's the song that's like, just the two of us, we can make it if we try, just the two of us, you and I. And so, you know, that song, people think it's written by Bill Withers when it is not. He is a featured artist on the song. It's actually written by Grover Washington Jr. featuring Bill Withers. There's your little tidbit for the day. All right, we have to talk about this a little more off stream. So
yeah.
So if that's what your favorite sound is, what is your least favorite sound or noise?
My fingernails are scratching against the chalkboard.
Ooh.
Yeah, that literally, like, I will punch a wall if someone did that. It's that I hate it that much. I'll be like, boom.
I also don't like that. So recently, I've rekindled my hate of children crying. So it's a weird thing. It's a weird thing I have where I hate the sound of children crying, but if it's my own family, then I'm immediately rushing to their aid. So I'm just like, I mean, but that's not to say if I see a crying child, I'm not gonna go help them or support them, like, if their parents aren't around. So but yeah, it's those noises, those common noises, screaming children, like nails on a chalkboard. Ooh. How about the sound of somebody like smashing in a whiteboard marker? Ooh.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that either. I'm as I said, I'm autistic, so certain loud noises I just can't do.
It took every fiber of my being not to say in this economy. So I just imagine hearing I'm very autistic and I almost just sit in this economy. Oh my god. My goodness. Yeah. Please don't die. That'd be bad. It means I have to fill out paperwork.
Man.
That was my old theater tech director would always say, is like, please don't do anything that would cause paperwork because paperwork is bad.
Paperwork is a lot.
Yeah. What profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
Ooh, a movie director and writer. That's what I was going to college for at first, actually.
Is there a movie or franchise that you'd like to write for, or in like a book or an IP or something?
For a time, I love Tim Burton films a lot.
Yeah.
And I also like, a lot of Pixar and Disney, Marvel. I've always wanted to be part of those and like write stories for them or direct a film if possible, but sadly that dream is never achieved. Maybe I'll get back into it, who knows.
Yeah, we never know. The inverse of that, what profession would you not like to do?
I am absolutely terrified of needles, so I could never be a doctor.
Oh goodness. Then I guess you'd hate the idea of being a phlebotomist.
Wait, a phlebotomist.
A phlebotomist is somebody who deals with plasma donation and plasma.
Oh yeah, I can't do blood either.
Because their entire thing is they're sticking you with a needle every day.
I've been pricked so much last year. I had gallbladder issues that I had to have surgery, and I was pricked and poked with the needles so much that now I've gotten used to it, but I still don't like it.
So if I've said it before, I'm going to be going to the Las Vegas Level Up convention in April, so if anybody goes to that, thank you, Speed, I appreciate that. Speed, one of our previous guests on the show. If you guys go to the Las Vegas Level Up convention this year, and you find me, you can see the big scar marks on my forearms, or on my elbows, from how many times they've stuck me with needles. Val, I'm so sorry, I got home late last night. Don't worry about it, Nymphy. Guys, this is Nymphy, and Nymphy was who was going to be our guest last night, but weather got the best of them, and so we have to reschedule. So we're going to be rescheduling it, so it's okay. We'll still have you on the show, probably this next week.
Hell yeah.
So we might end up having 3 episodes of the VOD this next week.
Ooh, that sounds exciting.
So yeah. Now the last question. If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say to you when you arrive at the pearly gates?
You said this earlier about God. I would probably want God to be like, God damn, it took you long enough to get here.
Yeah?
Yeah. Because I feel like, not to be cocky, I feel like I'm a great person.
There you go. Well, it's like, it's something I've talked about with somebody. It's like, I feel like in the most conventional, basic forms of Christianity, at the very end of the day, if God were to look at you, he'd probably be like, that wasn't a sin, but that was kind of weird. I'm not going to hold it against you, but again, that was a little weird. The anime body pillow, again, not a sin. I'm just saying that was a little weird, but I'm not going to hold it against you. But yeah.
Yeah.
With that, concludes another wonderful episode of the VOD. Mimi, how do you feel? How are you doing?
I feel great. I had so much fun. I was so excited about this.
Hides Val body pillow. Hey, you're not supposed to talk about that. That's secret. I'm actually working on commissioning a Val body pillow. Don't worry.
Ooh.
You guys won't see that. That's just for me. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun having you. Your model was tweaking out for a moment.
Yeah, because my dog came over and he's kind of demanding me to pet him. He's actually grabbing onto my hand and demanding I pet him. Oh,
Well,
now he let go and walk away.
Since Phantom isn't here anymore, I will ask the final and second most important question. And that is,
All right.
Mimi, who would you like us to raid?
I think he's streaming right now.
Well, you were figuring that out. You can post that in the stream chat voice, or oh my gosh, the stream chat there, so I can copy that and just throw that in. While you were doing that, thank you everybody so much for joining me on this wonderful episode 32 of the VOD. Now, a couple things before we go. One, if you guys want to contribute to the Val Femboy Maid stream. Oh, Abbott is just, let's go. Heck
Yeah, he is streaming, so I was like, why not?
yeah, so, but contribute to the Val Femboy Maid stream. Thank you, Copper. And that is exactly what it sounds like. I will have a maid model for Val here, and I'll be doing an entire stream in my true bottom femboy nature. This is what Val truly is, but you know, guys don't get to see that often. And that'll be an entire stream like that. So yeah, contribute to that. Also, I have not forgotten about Chat Decide Stream. We're still doing that. So if you guys are not a part of the server, please, I encourage all of you guys to join the Discord server. Because inside the Discord server we are doing our, choose what you guys want me to do for a stream. I'll bring that back up. And, you know, I will have you guys do suggestions, and we'll vote on that. It'll be a lot of fun. Not to mention, there's so many things to do in this server. There's so many fun people we have. If not, join it for the soundboard. You get cool, where is it? You get cool sounds like this, like, skill issue. There you go, skill issue. Where is that? What's this one? There you go. Or how about, you are my special. Please don't copyright me, Twitch. Sorry. But yeah, please join the server. There's a lot of fun things you can do. Not to mention, you guys can decide what I do as a stream. So please, I want to see what you guys will come up with. We have several already. And the last thing that I want to throw out there is I am hosting a VTuber artist tournament. It is a championship, whatever you want to call it, but it's called the Artist Cup. And what that means is we will have 8 VTubers, artist VTubers competing together, and I will be giving prompts, and they will be drawing stuff, and chat will decide who the best is, and it'll be a lot of fun. So if you're a VTuber and you want an artist and you want to participate in that, please join it. That'll be next month. Without further ado, I need to get my raid messages up. I've rambled enough. Let's do that. Wait, no, that's my normal raid. So, that's for the VOD. That is for my wonderful subscribers. And there we go. I was hearing audio in one ear. And that is for my wonderful followers. So please go support our wonderful, wonderful guest, MasumiMiyu. I said it right. MasumiMiyu of Project Asteria. She is awesome. She certainly, I think, deserves a lot of love and support. So with that in mind, let's go raid Abbott, who was our previous guest on the show last week. And I will see you guys Monday for a brand new stream. Also, I'm going to be chilling in the voice chat in the VOD. So if you guys want to talk to me, stop by there, and I'll talk with you guys. Without further ado, I've talked enough. Let's get this show on the road. Sounds good, Mimi?
Sounds great.
Let's go! Where is he?
Woo!
Raid channel. Thank you, Twitch, for being weird. I'm going to lose my mind. Thanks for... Oh, yeah. Yeah, thank you for being
Oh, thank you, Emmy.
Let's see. Raid. Let's see. Abbott intern. What do you... I'm going to cry. All right, well, there it goes. So without further ado, I'll see you guys on Monday, as well as I will see any of you who wants to talk to me in the VOD server. Join the server, and we'll have a cool little talk. Without further ado, bye!